Well, after all these years of being an intake center, where me and Philly Dime and other people went to record the intake center for all the illegal migrants, the Roosevelt Hotel will be shutting down within a couple of months. It will no longer be operating as an intake center. Let's see what they have to say on here. Fox 5 News. Here we go.
City announcing plans today to shut down one of its largest migrant shelters.
After 2 years, the Roosevelt Hotel will no longer operate as an intake center or emergency shelter.
Fox 8's Morgan Mackay joins us live from City Hall, where the mayor just spoke extensively about this. Morgan.
Hey, Steve and Natasha. City Hall telling me that they will be closing the Roosevelt Hotel before the summer after almost 2 years in operation as an intake center for newly arriving migrants. But Mayor Eric Adams not crediting the Trump administration for the full decline of migrants living in the city shelter system, saying they saw a decline in arriving migrants to the city since before President Donald Trump took office. But according to City Hall, more than 173,000 migrants were processed at the Roosevelt Hotel since it opened in May 2023, almost a year after the city started to really see a surge in arrivals. The Roosevelt Hotel was opened as an intake center to process migrants arriving daily off of planes or buses and place them in a shelter somewhere across the 5 boroughs. More than 232,000 migrants have arrived in New York City.
Me and Philly Don did a lot of videos there, mostly Philly. Philly did a lot of them. I think JRL went up there. I think a couple of people went out there to do some videos, but after 2 years, that's it. It's over because they said it was like 4,000 people back then coming a week, and now it's like I think 300 to 400 a week coming here. So they're not going to be operating anymore. It's over.
City services since the spring of 2022, but now fewer than 45,000 migrants are in the city's care. The city says it is planning to close the Roosevelt Hotel and 53 other emergency shelter sites by June. According to City Hall, the migrant crisis has cost the city more than $7 billion, and on Friday, the city's legal department...
You hear that? More than $7 billion that could have went for people that from America that's homeless right now.
Sue the Trump administration after it took back $80 million already awarded to the city to help house some of the migrants. Adams spoke about the impact today of spending this much on the migrant crisis while pushing back on critics.
Many of you don't realize the long-term impact of losing $7 billion. The long-term impact is going to impact this city for generations to come. For generations to come. And what many of you, I will hope, is to say you're voicing your advocacy now. Where were you when we were getting 4,000 migrants and asylum seekers to the city a week? Where were they?
Now, in response to Roosevelt closing, the Legal Aid Society and the Coalition for the Homeless sent a statement saying in part, quote, "We are very concerned that the city will not be able to meet its moral and legal obligations to provide safe and appropriate shelter for all in need. The city must ensure that no one is left outside because of a lack of adequate shelter bed capacity." Meanwhile, Adams says that the law department is working to draft an executive order that would put ICE back on Rikers, but says they don't have an update just yet. Reporting live, I'm Morgan Mackay. Steve and Natasha, back to you.
All right, Morgan, those charges against the mayor are still hanging over his head. Did he address concerns that could be impacting how he handles immigration policy?
So yeah, you guys remember that the Justice Department, when writing to prosecutors to drop the criminal charges against Adams, they said that they need Adams focused on cracking down on illegal immigration and focusing on President Donald Trump's policies when it comes to immigration. And one of the prosecutors, when they resigned, they also accused Adams' attorneys of engaging in a quid pro quo, saying that they promised Adams cooperation on immigration in exchange for having these charges dropped. Now, that's something that Adams and his attorney has denied, but because of this, Adams was asked today if he has been asked by the governor or others to take a step back when it comes to immigration policy, and he says he's not going to be discussing any sort of private conversations as of right now, but says that is one of the things being discussed.
Video is over right there, but check that out. Look all that money they spent, man, for illegal migrants. They're gonna shut it down in June, and they just opened up a facility over here on in the Bronx, in Bruckner. They just opened up a facility over there on Bruckner. So it's like it's from one intake center shelter to another one. Now this one closed down, then you got another one that's gonna house all illegal aliens. That's men. It's gonna be men. 2,500 beds. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment of what you think about what's going on through New York City. New York City is going through a lot of problems now. I think we need some new people in power. I'm out.